There is no shared reality anymore. We have disparate realities. We have fractured realities. There's not really two tribes in the culture war. There's multiple factions. It's hard to describe. But this is a really good example, this story from Fox News about the fractured realities and how bad things have really gotten. Take a look at this. CNN head Jeff Zucker offered Trump debate advice and floated a weekly show. Leaked 2016 Cohen call reveals. Was this perhaps a bribe to Donald Trump? Hey, man, why don't you lose and we'll give you a TV show. How does that sound? Or was this just dirty dealing? CNN saying, here's what you got to do to win the debate. And hey, if it doesn't work out, we got you a TV show, right? This is CNN, the Orange Man Bad Network. Here's what Fox News reports. CNN President Jeff Zucker oversees a network that has been nothing but hostile to Trump. But newly revealed audio of a March 10th, 2016 conversation with then Trump attorney Michael Cohen shows Zucker attempting to cozy up to the then Republican frontrunner. In the recording obtained by Tucker Carlson tonight, Zucker boasts of the importance of his network, telling Cohen, you cannot be elected president of the United States without CNN. You guys have had great instincts, great guts, and great understanding of everything, Zucker told Cohen. But you're missing the boat on how it works going forward. Later in the conversation, Zucker expressed hesitation about contacting Cohen by email while referring to Trump fondly as the boss. So what happened? When did Zucker turn on Trump? And when did CNN become the Orange Man Bad Network? The moment he realized, hey, there's sweet money in ragging on Trump. And that's what I'm saying about disparate realities. I mean, look, if you watch my content, I have a bias pretty much against the Democrats. And I think I'm objectively correct in calling them out for the things they do. I don't much care for the Republicans because I feel like the Republicans don't really do anything. And it's more of an issue of Trump versus the Democrats. I think Trump is bad for a lot of reasons, but I think he's really, really good for a lot of other reasons, namely the things he's done with Middle Eastern peace agreements. For that, you'll come to my content and you'll often see me say, like, the media, they're lying because they are, and I think they are. And you'll hear me saying Trump not that bad and Trump's on some good things. But if you go to CNN, you'll hear the complete opposite. Now, in my opinion, CNN is lying on purpose. They know they're lying, and Joe Biden is lying. But they tell everyone the exact same thing I'm telling you, that they're the ones being honest, that I'm the one lying. I think I'm right. Many of the people on the left think they're right, but I think I think they're objectively lying because I can see both sides of the culture war. I can read news from mainstream media outlets and fact check it and realize they're lying. A lot of regular people who aren't doing research can't. And this is creating a fractured reality. When you have CNN trying to play both sides, hey, we'll give you a show if you lose. Now, oh, Trump is so bad. It's many. I feel like the argument of the grifter that we often hear, it's mostly the left. It really is. And they accuse me of that, and that's just silly. It is. I literally turn the camera on. I have no script, and I talk about what I think and how I feel. And I read a bunch of different news outlets. I don't just read one. Let's see what else is going on in the story. Let's read more. They say, quote, I'm very conscious of not putting too much in email. As you're a lawyer, as you understand, Zucker is heard telling Cohen. And, as fond as I am of the boss, he also has a tendency like, if I call him or I email him, he then is capable of going out at his next rally and saying that we just talked and I can't have that, if you know what I'm saying. So he was secretly offering up Trump's team benefits and advice. Yet he was concerned that Trump would go out and claim they were talking, and he didn't want to look bad. That's the duplicitousness. Is that the word? Duplicity? I don't know, whatever. That's the deceit of the mainstream media. They can air all of these things. They can have their anchors say Trump is bad for these reasons, but behind your back, they're just trying to make some cash, man. He continued, it's not that I don't want to talk to Trump every day. I've just got to be careful because I've got to be careful. I just don't want him talking about it on the campaign trail. But you know what? I'm going to give him a call right now, and I'm going to wish him luck in the debate tonight. Zucker was referring to that night's GOP primary debate, which CNN was hosting. The CNN chief then floated potential post-election plans for Trump, who Zucker previously had worked with as the former CEO of NBC Universal at the height of popularity of Trump's reality show, The Apprentice. I have all these proposals for him, Zucker told Cohen. I want to do a weekly show with him and all this stuff. So why didn't we hear more about this? I missed this story a couple days ago. Because news broke about Bob Woodward and the Trump recordings, and this one got ignored. Could you imagine if the left realized that the CNN narrative they were getting was actually they were trying to help Trump? How amazing would that be if people realized this? Zucker went on to compliment Trump's debate performances, telling Cohen, I think the other guys are going to gang up on him tremendously, and I think he's going to hold his own, as he does every time. He never lost a debate, and you know what? He's good at this. He's going to do great. He also offered Cohen some debate advice for Trump, specifically how his rivals may attack the celebrity real estate mogul as a con man, saying, quote, you know what you should do? Whoever's around him today should just be calling him a con man all day so he's used to it. So that when he hears it from Marco Rubio, it doesn't matter, Zucker said. Hey, con man, hey, con man, hey, con man. He thinks that's his name, you know? CNN did not immediately respond to Fox News' request for comment. Last week, Tucker Carlson Tonight unveiled a recording of a conversation between Cohen and CNN anchor Chris Cuomo, who is heard denying misconduct allegations. Where are these leaks coming from? We had another leak where apparently Jake Tapper was trying to get Sean Parnell to run in a different district so he wouldn't run against Conor Lamb, or that if he did run a different district, he wouldn't. You got to be careful with phrasing because Tapper is denying it. But where are these leaks from CNN coming from? This is interesting. Do you know how many effing phone calls I've gotten from people at ABC who say that reporters are calling and lying about things they heard about me to try and get stories about me when I was at ABC? Cuomo asked Cohen. Guys calling and saying, I heard he's the Charlie Rose of ABC. Used to invite women to the hotel and open up his bathrobe. Do I look like the kind of effing guy who would do that? Sure, why not? Cohen replied with a chuckle. He does, in my opinion. Are you kidding me? The dude who lied about being under quarantine? Yeah. If I heard that, I'd be like, sounds like Cuomo. He's an unethical, dirty dude. He lied about being under quarantine, was at some secret property, got spotted by some dude, made jokes about it, and lied later and acted like it wasn't, you know what? Yeah, Cuomo, you don't seem like a good guy. After the Cuomo audio was made public, Cohen tweeted that the only people in possession of the audio recordings are the Department of Justice, President Trump, and himself. I did not give this recording or authorization for its use to Fox News or anyone, he said. POTUS and cronies violated my First Amendment rights, and now this, all to discredit me and my book, What's Next? Yeah, or you leaked it to promote your book, dude. Well, I saw this from NBC News. It's Buyer's Market. It's Dylan Byers, and he's giving an analysis. And he brings up an interesting point that I think is fair to say, considering what I said about Jake Tapper the other day. News is a business, with all the behind-the-scenes wheeling and dealing that entails. But it also has the distinction of being a business that markets itself by promising things, integrity, transparency, fairness, that make the behind-the-scenes machinations especially unseemly to the average consumer. This is how Tucker Carlson, who has privately advised Trump and works for Fox News, a network that is unabashedly cozy with the president, is still able to accuse Zucker of coziness and make it stick, because political media coziness isn't part of the CNN brand. That's a really good point. The criticism of CNN, and Jake Tapper specifically, and now Zucker, is that they claim to be objective, fair, and balanced when they're actually very partisan. Fox News, we know, is partisan, and we know favors the president, so it's no big deal when we hear that Tucker Carlson is advising the president. Now, to be fair as well, Tucker wasn't advising the president trying to get him to not run. Tucker was telling the president about COVID to take it seriously. And there's a big difference between Jake Tapper intervening on behalf of a Democrat potentially, or just trying to influence a Republican to run in a different district. That is unethical. Tucker shouldn't do that either. Tucker went to the president and said, you got to take COVID very seriously. And there you go. That makes sense. They say, but coziness, like it or not, is part of the business. It's how many reporters cultivate sources, how producers and bookers land big interviews, and yes, how some executives foster relationships that can at times be mutually beneficial. This is not to say that some news executives don't believe in integrity, transparency, and all the other things they market. Many do. But it's also important to understand that there's a business side to this business, one preoccupied with ratings and ad sales and integrity as a marketing slogan. And it tests the sacrosanct ideals of the Fourth Estate almost every single day. Wow, that's a great statement. I completely agree. It's a marketing tactic. When Fox News says fair and balanced, it's marketing. When CNN says the most trusted name in news, it is marketing. When MSNBC says we're wingnut conspiracy theorists, that is also marketing. They don't say that. I'm assuming they do because they are wingnut conspiracy theorists. But this is what you got to realize. At the end of the day, these media companies do not market in truth. They come to you and they say, oh, harumph, harumph. And what do they really want? Money. So I think it's funny when people say I'm a grifter. It's like, no, my opinions are my opinions. I have no script. I'm just talking. I don't have a teleprompter or anything like that. And when I say something, I really mean it. I have no marketing department. It's really funny. On this channel, you may notice there's no graphics. There's no descriptions. I don't do anything. I just record these things and then press upload. And hey, it works. CNN and these other media companies, on the other hand, have like A/B testing, where they're like, which one will generate more rage and shares so we can get paid? Which story got the better ratings? Hey, maybe we should do a Trump TV show because people like Trump. I don't know where Zucker is on that today, but I'm not going to pretend like I trust them. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up in a few minutes, and I will see you all shortly.